Capezero has been the site of the Museum of Oriental Art since 1928. The collection owes its existence to Enrico di Borbone, the Count of Bardi. In 1906, his wife offered the collection to the Italian nation, but the sum asked by the princess was considered too high, and the collection was sold to the Viennese antique dealer Trau. In 1907, Trau began a sale which went on until 1914. The sale, which was defined some years later as a selection in reverse, halved the collection. The war that swept across Europe in 1914 intervened, and the liquidation of the collection was interrupted. At the end of the hostilities, the Italian government came into possession of the collection, which, as the property of an enemy subject, was given in compensation for war damage. And so the first National Museum of Oriental Art in Italy was founded. The not easy task of placing a heterogeneous collection of Oriental art, mostly modern Japanese, in a historical Venetian residence fell to Nino Barbantini, an important personality in the cultural world of Venice. At the entrance to the museum, we find ceremonial Japanese arms and suits of armour.
To remediate the damage caused by long exposure to light and dust, the suits of armour were disassembled and dusted, then placed in storage, where they would undergo a long and painstaking restoration.
They belong to the period known as Edo, from the name of the new capital Edo, present-day Tokyo, or Tokugawa, after the name of the new shogun family that was to rule the country for more than 2.5 centuries, from 1600 to 1867. The Edo period is a long, relatively peaceful era which saw the more or less complete closure of Japan to the rest of the world. The suits of armour, used in the frequent parades and processions, are characterised by the revival of old models from the 14th and 15th centuries, and by an emphasis on decorative features to the detriment of their functional qualities. The colours of the silk ribbons, joining the lacquered plates from which the armour is formed, are gaudy. The helmets are enriched with fanciful crests, and together with the mask, help to increase the terrifying effect of the warrior. This emphasis on the decorative features can also be found in the lances, in the sword sheaths, in the tall lacquered flagstaffs, and in the ceremonial war hats, in black lacquer, or with an embedded decoration of mother-of-pearl scales covered in lacquer, which polishing brings back to the surface. Other symbols of distinction and wealth were the saddles and stirrups in lacquer, which completed the harness of the horse. This example, black lacquered and decorated with dragonflies, and the family's coats of arms, is dated 1856. The collection of the Museum of Oriental Art boasts as many as 15 saddles and 38 stirrups, signed and dated between the 16th and 19th centuries. Elaborate ornamentation is common to all sorts of objects. Sword blades, hilts, and other parts of the mount, as well as arrowheads and firearms.
Firearms were first introduced to Japan by the Portuguese. Japanese-produced firearms did not differ significantly from the original European models, except in the peculiarity of the decorations and the construction techniques employed.
The collection of sword blades is notable, both for the quantity of pieces and the quality of the materials, which document the Japanese production from the 14th to the 19th century. After being exhibited continuously for 60 years, the screens made of gilded and painted cardboard are now held in store and brought out for brief periods only to ensure their conservation.
A rare ladies' sedan chair from the late 18th century is now exhibited in their place. The exterior is black lacquer. The gilded lacquer decoration comprises a stylized geometric motif called sayagata, accompanied by a repetition of family crests, or mon, of the kirimon type, showing paulina leaves and flowers in the shape of a butterfly. The sedan chair underwent a long and thorough restoration. Inside, the walls, sliding doors and ceiling bear a complex decoration in gilded and painted paper. The auspicious nature of the symbology is underscored by the presence of a pair of cranes, alluding to marital fidelity, and of long-tailed turtles, the symbol of longevity. During the Edo period, the feudal lords, the nobility and the shogun customarily travelled by small vehicles drawn by oxen or in a sedan chair. The sedan chair in the museum is the most luxurious type, reserved to women. These two wooden statues were part of a set of 12 divine generals. They are the oldest pieces in the museum, dating from the early 13th century. The sculptures are composed of several parts, assembled together and finished with fine polychromy and gilding. The eyes are tiny crystal lenses applied on a background of painted paper, and the faces are particularly expressive.
The objects in gilded lacquer, which cover the walls of an entire hall and saturate the space with the 3 tables in the centre of the room, are there to amaze visitors with their at times inexplicable shapes and complex techniques. The state of conservation, despite the irreversible damage caused by the light, is good. The nature of the material and the way it's used are such that when the lacquering has been carried out well, an object will remain hard and resistant. The pieces mostly belong to the Edo period and the first decade of the Meiji period. This low-bait incense burner with a family coat of arms is from the beginning of the 17th century. Perhaps even earlier is this hand basin, to which a handle and a base in gilded bronze were added later. In the collection there are also toilet sets with various accessories, boxes in all different shapes and sizes for face powder and cosmetics, various things used for women's beauty, as well as boxes for letters, documents and deeds, some belonging to a larger set made for the daughters of rich merchants or daimyo on the occasion of their weddings. This piece of furniture, with shelves from the 18th century, intended as an object for toilet, in particular for colouring teeth, together with another two for stationery, books and painted scrolls, make the base of a trousseau. It is in black lacquer, decorated with branches of a flowering cherry tree, cherry blossom and family emblems. Elegant, gilded bronze stays add to the richness of the decorations. Within the collection, there are two sets of objects particularly dear to the taste of Western collectors of Japanese art. The inro, cases for medicinal herbs, and the sakazuki, cups in red lacquer of various sizes for drinking sake. The inro is a small container for medicine in compartments, closed with an ojime and carried around the waist by means of a netsuke, a small clip you might say, made of various materials and in curious shapes which can be more or less functional. Variety of technique and decorative subject distinguish the inro we can see here. Realised in sumie, in imitation of an ink drawing made under the last layer of the lacquer, in red carved lacquer or enriched with the addition of mother of pearl or ivory. Very often, these objects carry the signature and seal of the great masters. Exceptionally interesting is the collection of musical instruments, used both for the performances of no theatre, attended by the nobility and high-ranking samurai, and for the more popular kabuki theatre.
In this collection, also from the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, many of the instruments are fine pieces of art, such as the koto, sho, and shamisen. The decorations consist of lacquered floral motifs that extend to all parts of the instrument.
Scrolls painted on paper or silk describe the world of women, providing testimony of their education, the learning of music, dance and singing to the detriment of intellectual instruction. In this scroll, painted around 1816 or 17, three beautiful women are portrayed: a court lady, a geisha, and a rich merchant's daughter. The colours evenly painted in the background give a sense of volume, entrusted almost entirely to lines. They are images that Japanese prints have made us familiar with, and whose contribution to painting and modern graphic work in the West is well known.
The museum's kosode are displayed in rotation in the alcove. The entire collection has been restored and is held in storage for conservation purposes. From the 16th century onward, the kosode was the basic model of traditional Japanese clothing. Women wore kosode with the two end pieces crossed over the chest and cinched at the waist with a wide belt. The garments are exquisitely embroidered in silk and gold. Inside a black lacquer case, a large mirror used by women to inspect their elaborate hairstyles.
The Chinese section of the museum originally consisted of three different categories of objects: porcelain, lacquers, clothes. The red carved lacquer and fragile clothes in embroidered silk, subject of patient restoration work to remedy the damage caused by their being exhibited for too long in unsuitable conditions, are kept in store. Next to a family piece, the vase decorated with chinoiserie and the Borboni coat of arms, there are containers of different types and manufacture. The precious black family column vases are among the few pieces of the collection that did not belong to Count Bardi. In fact, they are from the gallery of the Academy. In the centre of the hall, a little showcase contains some Chinese pieces made of jade from the 18th and 19th centuries. Perfume burners, a baton, various ritual and decorative objects. The vast range of colours of the jade is due to the presence of metal oxides and silicates. Among the antique batik, kris and musical instruments, there are figures from the Shadow Theatre of Java, dating back to the 19th century. In Shadow Theatre, flat profiles on which only the arms are articulated are moved with sticks. They are made of painted and gilded carved leather. Deep cuts cover the whole surface of the figure, allowing light to pass through, thus making them recognisable. The original mounting of the exhibition will have to be changed, without losing sight, however, of its origin as a private collection. The art collection from Enrico di Borbone's journey.